Here's what's happening in the city of Detroit.
All right, good morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to, number one, thank the Detroit Police Department's Vice Squad for making this happen. This is a long-term effort and operation to ensure that small businesses and businesses within the city of Detroit are complying with our community norms, mores, and the most basic of laws and city ordinances. This is the Building Safety Engineering and Environmental Department, the Law Department, a host of community leaders, and the ecumenical community all coming together to ensure that we are revoking business licenses from businesses that are not complying. And so today we stand before Erotic City, a strip club located in the city of Detroit in the heart of the 3rd District. And it has violated a number of city codes. And the city ordinance states that any business that constitutes a public nuisance or specific hazard or threat to the peace, health, safety, and welfare of the public, then a business license must be suspended, denied, or revoked. There have been several business license violations at this establishment over the past few years. These violations were here and used to substantiate the revocation of this license. The non-inclusive list includes indecent exposure, indoor smoking of cigarettes, marijuana, and sale of marijuana and other drugs, employees dancing without a dance cards, employees dancing semi-nude off the stage, patrons or employees touching dancers while indecent, noise complaints from the surrounding neighborhoods and businesses. This is a new day in the city of Detroit. Our neighborhoods will no longer be a pornographer's paradise. Businesses need to take note that they must comply with the law, norms, and mores of our communities if they wish to continue doing business here in the city of Detroit. And with that, we have a number of members of the city of Detroit, a number of employees. In addition, we have a number of community residents, and we'll let them speak. And so first we're going to have Doug Baker from the City Law Department.
Thank you, Mr. Benson. I really appreciate being invited by Scott Benson to be a part of this news conference, and we really appreciate community leaders such as himself supporting our effort, because I think with the community, the law department, the police department, and others jointly, we can start improving vastly the quality of life in this city, and that's what our commitment is. We are fighting blight on many fronts. There's licensing revocation hearings. We are going after commercial property owners that are not keeping their properties in a safe and habitable manner. We are stepping up enforcement of quality of life offenses that are committed in this community. We're stepping up our enforcement in 36th District Court. In this particular licensing revocation, again, the police department brought us evidence of a series of very serious violations, violence even that has spilled out from this business into the community on several occasions, gunplay. We presented that evidence to the hearing officer, and we've had the license revoked, and we'll continue to do this for all businesses that do not comply with our laws, our codes. And this is just one way in which we are tackling this problem. And we're going after graffiti, for example, people that mark up our city and make it an eyesore. We're struggling on that front, many different fronts. And I think it's efforts like this with the support of the pastors of Scott Benson that comes together with us that's making this work. And I really, again, appreciate being a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you. And just I want to reinforce that it takes many partners. So we have our law department, we have the DPD, Detroit Police Department, the Vice Division. We also have our Building Safety Engineering and Environmental Division. We also have our community and our ecumenical community. And it's very ironic that we stand in the parking lot of a church while we have a strip club just across the street. And so we will have Bishop Harris from the Coalition of Detroit Pastors.
Good morning to everyone. I want to make something publicly clear. Today's stance is not about religion. It's not about church. It's not even about morality at this particular point. It's about the law. I want to remind the public that both Judaism and Christianity are built and founded in the soils of the law. And though it would be wonderful to have the whole city believe as I do, that is not what today is about. We are standing here in coalition today, united this day with Councilman Scott Benson and with others from this residency and this area, to let it be known that Erotic City has violated the law. And the same way that many of these faith leaders stand up when our community residents have been violated, we stand now. It is such a simple thing to have the dancers acquire their dance cards legally. So why didn't they? It's such a simple thing to not allow smoking and sales of narcotics in your establishment. So why didn't they? It's such a simple thing to make sure to secure your business so that violations of the law and illegal transactions don't take place. So why didn't they? I think it's a very clear sign because they felt that they did not have to. And so now, as we stand here today, we send a very clear message to them. They have to. They have to respect the law. They have to respect the residents of this area. They have to respect the different people and their beliefs and their faiths in order for us all to build one city. So again, I want to make it clear. We are not here today trying to force religion down anyone's throat. We are not standing here today for any other reason other than Erotic City is being closed, not because of lack of morality, not because of lack of religion, but they're being closed because of the lack of following the law. This is happening, and we are glad. Thank you, Councilman Scott Benson, and for all of those of you who have helped us fight in this moment to stand up to improve the quality of life here. And that is what the Coalition of Pastors of the City of Detroit is all about. Thank you.
Detroit is on its way back. We have got to stop as citizens accepting whatever you want to put in our neighborhood. This building has no business in a neighborhood where we have children walking to and from. I represent the Belmont Shopping Center and Imperial Market. I speak on behalf of all of the merchants that when we come into Detroit, we should be protected, we should be safe. We work with the police department. We have got to stop just sitting back and allowing people to use Detroit as a dumping ground. Right. I also represent the DeQuinta Neighborhood Block Club. When you come together as a people, you can stop anything. Like the pastor said, we sit back and don't say anything. But to Councilman Benson, I am very proud. There are too many leaders that stand up, get voted in, and you never see them again. So our children deserve more, and it's up to us to make the future have a brighter future. And Detroit is an awesome city. It's not a dumping ground. And I thank you for this opportunity to speak. I live in Detroit. I love Detroit. I live right in this area, and I want to be able to walk up and down the street without somebody looking at me and going to snatch my purse. So I love what Councilman Benson is doing today. Is a great thing.
Thank you, Mrs. Birch. And this just goes to show the type of passion that we have in our neighborhoods and our communities and the silent voices that have gone unheard for so long. And as I keep saying, this has been a major operation and a major 2-year operation by the Detroit Police Department. So we also have Captain Leach of the 11th Precinct, and we are currently within his precinct area. And so Captain Leach, on behalf of the Detroit Police Department.
I'm not going to say a lot. What I will say is this. There's rules and regulations to every business in this city, and we're here to enforce the law. And when you cannot follow the rules set by the mayor and the chief of police as far as the business license, we will shut you down. Just like Shirley Birch just said, this city is coming back. And with that being said, no more, best way to say it is no more business as usual. Business as usual is over, and from here on out, when you're conducting business illegally in this city, we will shut you down. Thank you.
Well, today we had a press conference regarding the revocation of a business license that happens to be a strip club. And so this is basically the city initiative, and this is how we're helping to reduce blight in our neighborhoods. And one of the ways is shutting down businesses that do not comply with the city laws or the norms or mores of our neighborhoods. And this is in a neighborhood, a strip club, where they have gunplay on a regular basis, where they have illegal activities going on inside, loud noises, sexual activities in the neighborhood. And this is what's going on. This is what we don't need to have in our neighborhoods. And this is all the process of removing blight and shutting down businesses that don't comply.